Seth, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's super hot where I am, so I guess it's pretty fitting because we're on the road to SummerSlam now, and we don't know who you'll be facing yet. But for you, what stands out as SummerSlam as an event to make it so special?
I guess it's just the perfect distance from WrestleMania. It's always been a huge event for me. I always loved it growing up as a kid, but there's a lot of lore around it. And I've been able to have some really fun matches at SummerSlam. If you look back at my track record, it's pretty hefty. So I'm looking forward to SummerSlam again this year. Again, not on the card yet, but the way things are looking, it might be myself versus Riddle, which definitely has a chance to be a show stealer. So we'll see what happens, but I'm looking forward to the event. It's going to be cool out in Nashville. We have never done one there, so I'm excited to see Music City and how they respond to what we bring to the table.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Riddle there, and you've been working with him recently off TV. What's he like to work with, and how does his MMA background make him different in the ring?
He's definitely different to prepare for than someone else who might just have, a sports background or, a pro wrestling background or whatever, because his style's so unpredictable, I guess. He's just got a lot of different ways to come at you. And he kicks you with his bare feet, and his toes dig into your solar plexus. And so that's not ideal. I'll tell you that right now. But he's fine to work with. He's coming along. I think he did learn a lot from being kind of Randy's little sidekick. Now that Randy's out of the picture, we don't know how long he's going to be gone. It's time for Riddle to step up and do his own thing. It's time for him to truly be the original bro. And we're going to find out what that means, I think, as we inch closer to SummerSlam and some of bigger events later this year, too. So, we'll see. We'll see. Is he going to be able to stand on his own? Is he going to be able to be his own man? Or is he always just going to be that guy who is better as Randy's sidekick? That's going to be kind of what it looks like here moving forward.
hmm Well, I have to ask you about your incredible match with Cody Rhodes at Hell in a Cell. Watching at home and seeing what Cody's pec looked like was really unforgettable. What was your reaction when you saw it for the first time and knew he was going ahead with the match?
I mean, it was pretty gnarly. I don't think I expected it to look like that. I've had some torn muscles in my day, and I know that the blood seeps down, gravity just takes over. But I had never seen anything like that. I remember Triple H had torn his pec some time ago at an event and shared a picture of it, and it was pretty brutal. But nothing like
Mhm.
what we saw from Cody at Hell in a Cell. His bicep, tricep, shoulder, pec. I mean, it was down, to his belly button almost. It was pretty gnarly. So it was definitely shocking. And I think the way I felt about it was how the audience in Chicago, it was just very uncomfortable for the first little bits. I think people were even wary just to cheer for him because it was so wild.
For you, psychologically, like having that right in front of you when you're trying to wrestle him, did it in any way make you feel like subconsciously, you said there about the crowd being wary of cheering for him. For you, did you feel like you had to be wary of maybe not going as hard as you would usually would, seeing that injury he already had?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I definitely, pulled off the gas pedal a little bit. That's why I lost. I think if I had been
Mhm.
totally focused, I would have been able to pull out the win there. I think it was a strategic tactic on his behalf. Maybe he forced the blood out of there. I mean, to be honest, it's one of those things where I've never encountered anything like it. So the preparation is entirely brand new. It was a full hurdle thrown in my way that I'd never seen before, and so trying to wrap ourselves around it, was an interesting process. And so I think what we got out of it was magic. How we got there wasn't ideal, but that's life. You got to roll with the punches sometimes.
Hmm. And you two had your first match at WrestleMania. What was the reaction to his music hitting like for you standing in the ring? And where would you kind of rank it in your best Mania memories?
It's pretty surreal to be a part of something like that. Um, I just I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I guess, or maybe didn't think it was ever going to happen so soon. I suppose I always thought maybe Cody would come back, but I didn't think it was going to be as quickly as it happened. And so to hear his music Kingdom over the speakers, and that entrance specifically, and the presentation of the American Nightmare in a WWE setting was pretty surreal. And to be standing kind of in the middle of the ring really felt like an eye of the hurricane type situation. There was a bit of peace in the center, knowing that once he got into the ring, it was still just another match to be had. And so that while everything was going crazy around us, we were there, and two young men trying to fight it out. And so it always kind of came back to that for me mentally.
Hmm. And back at the Royal Rumble, you faced your old Shield partner Roman Reigns, and we got the old school Shield entrance from you. So whose idea was that, and what was it like putting the gear on again?
Um, I actually can't tell you whose idea it was. It was a collaborative idea. I will tell you that much, but I can't divulge that. That's for a documentary somewhere down the line. But it was very it was a late call, and I had to have my friends. Like, fortunately, the event was in St. Louis, which is a short drive from my home in Iowa, where I kept all my old stuff. And so I had a few friends coming up for the show, and so I had to have them pack it in a backpack. My mom packed it and delivered it to the guys who were coming to the show and bring it down. And it was very odd putting on the old get up again. It always is. We've done it a few times now. And it's very warm. It's cumbersome because I'm so used to wrestling with a shirt off now that when I've got, all those layers on and the vest and the pants and all that, it's very warm, very much warmer than I would like it to be.
You and Roman obviously have so much history. Given that, would you have wanted a longer build to the Rumble match and tell a bigger story if you face each other again down the line?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack between he and I.
Mhm.
10 years of history essentially, and I think we did a decent job of getting enough of it out in a few weeks that it was really exciting when we got to the Royal Rumble. The circumstances surrounding that match and how it happened and why it happened, not ideal, obviously, for either of us. But I think we left it pretty open ended, and I think there's maybe one chapter there is written, and we've got many more to go. I certainly don't think the book is closed on Rollins versus Reigns.
In the past 10 years, all three of the Shield members, you, Roman, and Moxley, you've changed and grown so much. If you guys were to ever come together again, how do you think the dynamic between you would be different?
Man, I just don't think that. I just don't know. It would look so much different. I think now I can say that, and maybe this might come back to bite me at some point, but I just don't think you're ever going to see the three of us team up ever again. I don't think it wouldn't look the way you want it to look. It
Mhm.
wouldn't be like the old days in the Shield. It would be a different animal. I think we're all just too big of stars with too big of personalities at this point that um, it wouldn't look the way it looked. We needed
Yeah.
each other back then, and now none of us need the other one. Now
Mhm.
we're at a point where we're all standalone stars on a different level. So to have to, kind of minimize that to fit into each other's molds, I just don't see it ever happening again. I think it would look a whole lot different. I think the next
Mhm.
time you see us together, it's going to be when we're inducted into the Hall of Fame. And
Yeah.
that's going to be it.
Well, your fashion sense is really incredible, and you always turn out a look. So, who is it that you're taking some of your inspiration from?
Well, I got a guy, he helps me sort out the suits. I am not,
Mhm.
I hate to burst your bubble, I'm not quite as fashionable as Seth Freakin Rollins. So I got a guy that helps out. His name is King Troy on Instagram, Troy with an I, and he's great. He styles me, gets me all the looks, makes sure I'm fit for television and pay per view, and yeah, I mean the inspiration is just like anything that he can find that's wild, man. Like I, Machine Gun Kelly is a great example of someone whose fashion is just nuts, but it works for him.
Mhm.
And mine is kind of based off of that idea. Obviously, I wear more suits than MGK does, but the idea there, the presence is the same.
Your wife Becky's fashion game is equally high. Is there any competition there, or
Always.
have you ever vetoed any of each other's outfits?
I mean, I snatch her sunglasses occasionally,
Mhm.
but I think she might have some of my jackets in the closet that she might want to pull out or get sewn into something else. But it would be much easier for her to fit into my stuff than me into hers. I think. I don't think. I mean, her items would be like headbands for me or something like that. So but yeah, there's definitely competition, and of course, competition. Always, we always want to, look the best. But I think in a healthy way. We want to look the best for each other as well.
Hmm. And finally, since I'm here in the UK, you'll be coming over here very soon for Clash at the Castle. So just how excited are you for that? And how do you think the crowd over here is going to compare to what we see at WrestleMania or even SummerSlam? Because it's such a big deal for us.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, I know we get a lot of people flying into WrestleMania, so this,
Yeah.
the crowd isn't just Americans; it's a mix of international fans as well. Uh, I do just think the energy for this UK pay per view is going to be pretty wild. I think I'm expecting nonsense throughout in a good way. And so you just get that many folks and packed into a stadium in Cardiff. It's a recipe for a good time. And so I'm very excited to get over there and perform. This pay per view has been a long time coming. This stadium show has been a long time coming. And so I think you're going to see, 30 years of pent up frustration waiting for this show all let out in one fell swoop. So it should be a very good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Seth, for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you.